And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again another day serving as your consumer advocate. Welcome to the Consumer Quarterback Show. We want to help you win in over 80 categories of consumer advocate content and advice. And right here on AM 860 The Answer, 4 o'clock drive time. Got a weekend show on FM 102.5 The Bone as well, Sunday mornings. And our TV show is syndicated on Apple, Amazon, and Roku, 85 other smart television outlets as well. We want to help you win in any marketplace, as we say here, because we are addicted to winning here at the Consumer Quarterback Show.
The only thing I'm addicted to right now is winning.
We want you to save our hotline number in your phone at some point. You may need it, 813-670-7372. That's our consumer advocate hotline number, 813-670-7372.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
And bookmark our website, consumerqb.com. A plethora of information available for you on our website at consumerqb.com. This segment is brought to you by Golf Cart Depot, golfcartdepot.com. New and used golf carts. They've got huge inventory as well. Great selection of Easy Go, City Car, Star, and Timberlane carts as well. Land O'Lakes, their location is right off of 41. Clearwater, right off of US 19 as well. Say hello to Marty. He's the owner of Golf Cart Depot. Let him know the real estate quarterback sent you. And whether you're looking for personal use or commercial use, I love getting out there on my Keller Williams red golf cart with the roof there. You got the beautiful setup, nice tires on it and rims right there. Getting out in the neighborhood. So check out golfcartdepot.com. Let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. Take them up on special offers and incentives. A great lineup for you today. Anthony Ornella, personal CFO. Welcome in, sir.
Oh, man, is it so good to be here. I'm excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. So you are our expert in the wealth building, financial advising space.
Yes.
And what are we going to talk about today, sir?
Well, among a lot of things, of course, we always like to talk about that fiduciary role because it is so vastly important. But today, a really, really powerful, very powerful message. I am now teamed up with JarredBunch Consulting, and that's who I am working with now. We're going to talk about financial plans and how they are broken. Financial planning as a system is broken and a better way forward. That is the teaser that I'm really excited to talk to folks about.
I love it. I love it. And he's also a fiduciary, one of the main points you want to look at when you're hiring, a financial or wealth advisor. Also, my friend Captain Matt Bruce in the house. Welcome in, sir.
How you doing, Brandon?
Doing wonderful. Yes, sir. Things are great. And yourself?
Not too bad. Life is always good in my world.
Yeah, man. Good to hear it. Vietnam veteran, you're host of the Captain's America, very popular radio show. Told me you hit over 2 million viewers the other night, listeners.
Yeah. We had 1 million on the internet. We had 1 million on terrestrial radio with all of our affiliates. That's what the syndicator told me.
Super cool, man. That's awesome. And you are online as well, and 2 a.m. to 6 a.m.
Live.
Weekdays, live.
Mm-hmm. And on the weekends, 2 a.m. to 5 a.m., but you can always get the podcast 7 days a week, 24/7 when you want, the CaptainsAmerica3rdWatch.com.
Love it. I love it, man. So, yeah, we'll talk about the veterans. The veterans, again, in the home ownership space, they have great opportunities, 100% financing available for them, jumbo loans available for them, 100%. Plus, if they do a deal with the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, my wife and I own and operate that team, we're going to give additional benefits and bonuses as well, 1/4 to 1/2 point rebate back to them at closing.
Well, I just was over at the Mission Barbecue, and they do Wreaths Across America. That's their selected charity, and they just gave them a check for $354,000 with the sale of their little white cup that they have at their restaurants now. Whew. That's for Christmas time. Every veteran's grave in every cemetery in the state of Florida will be decorated with a wreath for that money.
Wow, that's awesome, man. That's a good cause, and our military, gosh, they do so much for us. They're protecting us, and the fight has changed as well from the old school style. Now a lot of it's online, it's cyber. So we're going to talk about that. We talked about robocalls on yesterday's show as well. We talked about that many times on your show. I'm calling into your show tomorrow morning, by the way. Every Wednesday morning, we call in at 5:30 a.m. as a guest on the Captain's America's Third Watch radio show right here in Tampa Bay, based with Salem Media Group right here in Tampa Bay. A couple of hot property listings I want to let you know about here in Tampa Bay. I've got a lot of vacant land as well here in Tampa Bay. So any builders, developers, folks looking to build commercial or residential, I've got a lot of vacant land available. 9200 Gun Highway in Odessa, for example, right there at the corner of Gun Highway and Racetrack Road, over 2.5 acres, 2.39 acres in Odessa. I've got property at 1401 Seminole Boulevard in Largo. This is vacant land available, commercial land available in Largo, Tampa Bay, in Pinellas County, one of the hottest areas, the most dense area in the southeast region of the United States. 1401 Seminole Boulevard here in Tampa Bay as well. Lots of vacant land. I've got about a dozen other vacant land properties. So check out all of our listings at PlatinumMVPTeam.com. All right, let's jump into it. So we got Anthony Ornella in the house, personal CFO. He's a fiduciary. He's helping people understand more about how to invest and save for retirement.
Absolutely. So again, I know we talk about it a lot on the show, but a fiduciary, what does that actually mean for those of you who missed it last time? It is not best interest. It is putting the client's interest above their own. That is what a fiduciary, independent investment advisor can do and should do for their clients. If you have someone who's tied to a specific company who is not an independent, they act in the best interest. They act in your best interest, but within the confines of that company. And so having an independent fiduciary is so vitally important to the robustness of the advice being rendered in the pure honesty as well, if I could be so blunt to say. So, yeah. I like to start with a quote. This coming from Scott Jarrett, the CEO of our firm. Traditional financial planning is flawed. You can't plan for an unknown future. What we know, your current financial position. Truly is. I mean, the one guarantee in this world is change. And death, and some might say taxes.
Yeah, exactly.
But change is a regular thing. And so in a world that is constantly changing, it's election year, tax season going on. The one thing we know right now is where you are financially right now. And so where this quote really stems from, financial planning is based around some old school assumptions, and they just don't ring true anymore. They focus minimally protected individual. If you build a great city, you build a great castle, and you don't build walls and a moat around it, well, guess what? Someone's going to take your treasures.
Yeah,
exactly. That's the fact. Math does not equal money. Money does not equal math. Think about that for a second. Money doesn't move like math. Money and math doesn't move like money. So you have to be distinct. And the assumption that money linearly grows, consistent year over year, month after month, there's a lot of people that know that's not true. And that's the assumptions that financial planning truly is based upon. And the idea of an average return, that's a whole nother topic. We could spend all show talking about if you gain 100%, lose 50%, gain 100%, lose 50%. Hey, you made 25% average return, but in actuality, you made zero actual dollars. So looking at average rates of return instead of the overall picture. And it very heavily invested in government-sponsored plans. Now, there is some advantages to that, but when your sole vehicle is one asset, I mean, we talk about real estate on the show a lot, right?
Right.
You got to be well diversified, and that's not just in different stocks. That's in different asset classes.
Yeah.
And it's a global economy now, so looking globally to diversify is extremely important. So
yeah. So let's talk about that. So when you look at we hear a lot about diversification in your planning and making sure that you're, well, number one, consistently investing into a plan. And then diversification. Can you elaborate a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you hit on something that's really important, is that systematic allocation. We use what's called the wealth coordination account to really set our clients up for success in that respect. But diversification is a really, really overused words. And again, going back to being a fiduciary, you can't diversify properly if you are not a fiduciary, because you are restricted within the confines of your own the own company. But with a independent fiduciary, you're allowed to create a truly diversified package. And to your question, what does diversification look like? Like I said, it's global. I mean, not everybody is doing a global diversification. There's a lot of options that are strictly U.S. equities and U.S. fixed incomes. But when tailored in, when the U.S. stock market plummets, are there other countries around the world that that go up instead of down, and to capture some of that. Pure diversification also doesn't work, not for the long haul. You capture all the upside, but you also capture all the downside, and the more diversification you have, it can tend to dampen the return on your money. So yes, you're protected, but you're also not earning what you could. So risk is guaranteed, just like change, and it's how you limit how much money you're losing, which is so important. And that's that delicate balance of diversification versus growth, if you will.
So we're talking with Anthony Ornella here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. He's a wealth strategist here in the Tampa Bay market. JarredBunch Consulting is his company, fiduciary as well. And it's interesting. We were talking with Diane Vance on a show last week, and she was mentioning how the coronavirus has affected mortgage rates, and it's affected them favorably for buyers, meaning it's gone down. But isn't it interesting, as you mentioned, a worldwide economy, global connection, but this coronavirus affecting the stock market? How does it affect things as well?
Yeah, and again, going back to diversification, truly being diversified is across assets. You have to have things that are potentially outside of the stock market completely to rely on in case you're losing your shirt in the market.
Yes.
But to your point, again, the economy, the world is more connected than it ever has been when it comes to just the advent of the internet, the interlacing of governments and fiat currencies. This coronavirus, it's something that we can't even see with the naked eye, and it's affecting not only human lives, but it's affecting people's financial health as well. It is how do you insulate yourself from something that you can't predict? You got to be working with a team. You got to be working with people that have set guidelines, set rules that they help you to succeed with.
Yeah, absolutely. And remember too, we talk a lot about Tony Robbins' book, Money Master the Game. It's not necessarily these mutual funds. 95% of the mutual funds don't outperform the index, so you could invest directly into the index through one of those types of index annuity type of fund. So we'll talk more detail with Anthony here coming up in the show. We also have Captain Matt Bruce in studio. He's a veteran. He's a radio show host and very well connected into that space as well here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. And we have a feel-good story of the day as well. A woman with only 12 followers shares final chemo tweet, becomes a Twitter star overnight. Find out about that and more from our expert contributors here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes. Do not touch that dial. I'll come right through the radio and grab your throat.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, this week we're going to talk about something exciting as usual.
We always have something exciting.
Yes, we do.
At least it's exciting to us.
This is a question that comes up.
TV, hey, it is Friday night. We're not here. Yes, we pre-recorded once again because Weaving TV is working over in Tampa with D'Angelo Star.
The 62 Who Knew. I almost said Professional Mortgage Alliance, Joe's Bar and Grill, but actually it's our 39th week. 62 Who Knew.
We're at the wonderful steampunk event at the Verizon Event Center here in 2019. I think it's still August, right? Yeah. Woo! Can't remember now. Ask him to me about
Yes. To be able to help businesses to do that kind of stuff. But it's just been a couple years.
Well, and I've taken the business card files from our business cards.
Entrepreneurs and professionals of Tampa Bay, welcome to your hour for getting the information, the tools, and the connections
Ian
for
Backles on Radio Influence.
Or you say left hand white, and then they catch the left hand white. What it does, it helps you quick with hand-eye coordination. Yeah.
Well, that's kind
As your super connector, we want to introduce you to our 50-plus show partners. We got over 80 categories of expert contributor advice here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and we want to.
That's where we disagree, but that's okay.
I said nonviolent.
That's okay.
Because, we're one of the only states that don't give them back the right. Got Jamie Limbaugh. He is from the Next Step image. I love that image because you were telling me earlier.
For the type of republic we actually are is actually very correct. Yet politicians and regular people use these words interchangeably, even though technically they are very different.
If you're an overdoer, overachiever, people pleaser, we tend to neglect ourselves. And even as Sisters Connected here, with Women Unscripted, I know
You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. This segment is brought to you by Brothers Easy Moving, the official moving partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Brothers Easy Moving, and I can tell you from firsthand experience, they are a first-class organization. They do a great job whether you're planning a local or long-distance move. Reach out to Brothers Easy Moving, the official moving partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, we've got a hot property listing down in Apollo Beach, down in South Hillsborough County, 6919 Makers Way, Apollo Beach. This is a gorgeous property, 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, over 2,000 square feet, and it's just a gorgeous home in a great community here in Apollo Beach. Planned unit development, gorgeous home, and you've got a nice color garage there. I love that color on the garage, but it's a 3 bedroom, 2 bath, open concept floor plan, fenced in backyard, desirable neighborhood in Apollo Beach, right here in beautiful Tampa Bay, Florida. And we also have another property here in Tampa at 4348 Harbor Point Drive, Port Richey, Florida. Okay, Tampa Bay, one of the best properties that we've got listed right now. 4348 Harbor Point Drive, Port Richey, $2 million property right here on the waterfront. Bring your boat. You got bay access direct out into the bay, and it's a great opportunity to have entertainment, high levels of security. There's 2 guard gates before you even get onto the street at this property at 4348 Harbor Point Drive in Port Richey. Check out all of our listings at PlatinumMVPteam.com. All right. So we got Captain Matt Bruce in the house, radio show host, first responder as well to back in the day with the World Trade Center, Vietnam veteran, and my friend right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. What's happening, man?
Well, I'll tell you what, every time we turn around, we're up to something. I'm doing gun shows now, so I'm out on the weekends on gun shows. You're always invited to show up.
Nice.
But the thing of it is we've done a couple of events together, and we've been over at the American Legion, post number 5.
Yep.
Might have an opportunity to do something like that again. But I'm all about America, and I'm all about the veterans. I'm all about the first responders because I've been one of each. And people seem to forget that that's not an easy job. And many times you leave the house in the morning and you may not be coming back at night.
Yeah.
Especially a police officer or a fireman, and you never know what's going to happen. We hear about police officers every day passing away, either because they're killed in a line of duty, or maybe they're on their way to work, and the cop the other day got T-boned somewhere in Texas, and he was killed in an auto wreck. Who would have thunk it, right?
Oh man!
But it's something, and we give back to America every chance we get because of those guys. Because I wouldn't be sitting here, neither would any of us in this room, without a veteran laying his life on the line, or a police or fireman doing something for somebody somewhere.
That's right. Yeah, and it seems like there's so much political polarization that, even that kind of a message gets convoluted, and you lose track of, what really matters. Right here in the United States, the greatest nation on the planet or the earth. And of course, we live in Tampa Bay, which, if you take that further, in the best state, in the best tri-city area in the country, with everything that we offer here, real estate wise, obviously, and lots of other services and fun things to do here in Tampa Bay. But it all starts with our veterans who protected this country. So we love to offer our veterans discounts when it comes to real estate mortgage. We've got a great mortgage partner that does that as well, Diane Vance, Fairway Independent Mortgage. She offers a discount back to the veterans. Basically it's a 0 cost loan for them, a way that we can help them, and a small token of appreciation that we can do for them. My dad was an MP in the military, many family members as well. So what's going on right now currently? What's happening? Any events coming up that we can support for you?
Well, yeah, and let me kill this because I forgot about that. So there we go.
Cell phone ringing in the radio show.
No, that was my alarm bell that tells me it's time to go to the radio station.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, we've got a lot of different veterans events coming up. Of course, we've got the MacDill Air Fest coming up in March.
Cool.
I'm going to be over there for that. I'm not sure exactly logistically what we're going to be doing. I think we're going to be doing like live call-ins from a location over there, have a little table, shake hands with people. There's 100,000 people that come through there each one of the 2 days that they've got the show going on. So that's a big event. And I know a lot of my friends have had to park literally 2 miles away and either walk in or take a shuttle to get into the gate, because that's what happens if you're not there at dark 30 to find a place to park.
Yeah.
But a lot of the other things that are going on are pretty much related to the local veterans, VFWs and American Legions, post-Vietnam Brotherhood organizations that are doing things for the veterans. And somebody's always doing something for somebody. Every time one of our brothers or sisters come home from the war on terror, whether it's Afghanistan, Iraq, or wherever else, Africa, because we've got a big presence there. There's always the motorcycle honor guards that bring them in with the flags and all that stuff, and there's always somebody there for them. And we know what it's like. We've all been through this, so we stand together with each other. We're a very fraternal organization.
Absolutely. We got Captain Matt Bruce here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and we're both members of Freedom Boat Club, and you know, sponsor your show. And I remember a few years back, I went to the MacDill Air Force, the air show. That was cool. So I just took the boat kind of right there just south of Gandy, down south, and just posted up, watching these F-14, all the different types of jets flying over. It was a pretty cool experience.
Yeah, and the F-22s, you probably saw them come in and do the power thrust when they flew right into the middle of the airfield and then straight up in the air, and they just held themselves up there. And it's like, how are they doing this?
Yeah, that's amazing, man. These war machines. But you know, I was listening to one of these podcasts as well. I think it was the Rogan podcast, and he had a retired high level clearance gentleman on the show, sergeant, master sergeant, one of these, and they were talking about UFOs, man. He was talking about how he was in his F-14. They had him on the radar, and the UFO just went like it was like an unbelievable. Where do you stand on UFOs?
There's unexplained things that happen. I've been to Roswell, New Mexico. I've been to White Sands, New Mexico, so I've seen the museum and all that down there in my travels. But there's unexplained things that happen that we can't explain, and there may be something out there that we don't know about. I mean, never say never is my word.
Yeah, exactly. I preach that, to kids I talk to. Sometimes they always say always and never. You can never say always and never say never. Those types of things. So it's interesting, when you think about that, what's out there, what's out the universe. But because it was right on the screen, and you could see it, and it just went zoom, just right off the screen. Like, what was that? Was no man-made propelling, propulsion or whatever the word is there. But we're talking with Captain Matt Bruce. So we talk about, get back to the core of the show here, consumer advocacy, helping people. We talked about robocalls on your show. We talk about down payment assistance programs, lots of ways that we can help. And we just really want to help veterans as well.
Well, that's what you do. And that's the questions that we get, because every now and then we'll get questions from veterans asking specifically, how do they get a hold of you and what can you do to help them? Yeah. They're always interested in of course, most veterans loans, most VA loans, you don't need to have a down payment.
Right.
But to get money back on your home, which is what you offer them, with a way that the VA isn't going to tell them, but you know how to do it.
That's right.
That's very beneficial to them, and that helps them greatly.
Yeah, realtor rebates back at closing. We can work in seller concessions is another way to get money back into that buyer's hands at closing, or at least have them come with little to no out of pocket. There's ways that we can structure those deals, and it's a situation where we want to help them. We want to go above and beyond to help the veterans, and everything from connections to home security systems or solar companies, all the different partners we have, 80 show partners, over 50 plus show partners, 80 categories of the Consumer Quarterback Show, and lots of ways that we can help them. Real estate credit, finance, estate and tax planning, credit improvement. We got a lot of great partners that can help them, Captain.
Well, you do a good job, Brandon. That's why people keep calling and asking for Brandon, the consumer quarterback.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Wednesday segment has become very popular.
Yeah, we do. I get some calls right after the show, and we always try to answer whenever people call and get right back to them if we happen to miss them. So we do appreciate that. People calling in with different scenarios. There's one last week. I think it was a divorce situation. There was one with he owned a property with his brother. How did they get him off the deed? How does he get on the deed? All these different scenarios that come into play. And, sometimes I got to get my title company involved or my real estate attorney involved and answer these kind of one-off scenarios that come up from time to time. But that's the great thing about
And the one thing we talked about, and I did get a call about that for you tomorrow, is somebody actually had their home taken out from underneath them.
Oh,
and, they want to know what it is they can do to help that.
Yeah, title. So that's an interesting thing. Title insurance, title fraud. It's out there. There's ways that you can protect that. We do have a show partner, Kevin, Insured Title, that will help with that. He has a program. He wrote a book called Fraud Shine State, and there's a lot of fraud in Florida, not only lots of other areas, but also with title, especially when they get sophisticated. They can look at the obituaries, they look at vacant properties, they look at out-of-state property owners, and then you can go. Everything's online, of course. The internet's great, as we talked about with Anthony. It's great for so many reasons, but it's also a problem because it opens up these new can of worms, where people can spoof titles, fake false deeds, and falsify documents. And then next thing you know, you got a moving truck showing up to your home like, yeah, we're moving in. What? You're moving in where? This house? No. So then it gets into a big problem. So stay with us right here. We got Captain Matt Bruce in the house. More from Anthony Ornella as well coming up right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Check out our website, consumerqb.com. We'll see you right after this short break. Don't go anywhere.
This is Warwick Dunn, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show, hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, this week we're going to talk about something exciting as usual.
We always have something exciting.
Yes, we do.
At least it's exciting to us.
But this is a question that comes up.
TV, hey, it is Friday night. We're not here. Yes, we pre-recorded once again because WeBeam TV is working over in Tampa with D'Angelo Star.
The 62 Who Knew. I almost said Professional Mortgage Alliance, Joe's Bar and Grill. But actually, it's our 39th week. 62 Who Knew.
We're at the wonderful steampunk event at the Verizon Event Center here in 2019. I think it's still August, right? Yeah. Woo! Can't remember. Ask me about
Yes. To be able to help businesses to do that part of it. But it's just been a couple of years.
Well, and I've taken the business card files from our business cards and made
Entrepreneurs and professionals of Tampa Bay, welcome to your hour for getting the information, the tools, and the connections
Ian
for
Beckles on Radio Influence.
Or you say left hand white, and then they catch the left hand white. What it does, it helps you quick with hand-eye coordination. Yeah.
Well, that's kind
As your super connector, we want to introduce you to our 50+ show partners. We got over 80 categories of expert contributor advice here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and we want to.
That's where we disagree, but that's okay.
I said nonviolent.
That's okay.
Because, we're one of the only states that don't give them back the right. Got Jamie Limbaugh. He is from the Next Step image. I love that name because you were telling me earlier.
For the type of republic we actually are is actually very correct. Yet politicians and regular people use these words interchangeably, even though technically they are very different.
If you're an overdoer, overachiever, people pleaser, we tend to neglect ourselves. And even as sisters connected here, with Women Unscripted, I know
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
Welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. This segment is brought to you by Taps Restaurant, the official restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Taps Restaurant, Bar and Lounge over at the International Plaza on Bay Street. Excellent food, wonderful ambiance, and a very friendly staff over at Taps Restaurant, International Plaza. They offer outdoor patio seating as well. Dogs are welcome, and they have daily happy hours as well. Local gastropub right here in the Tampa Bay area, International Plaza on Bay Street, Taps Restaurant. Make sure you let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you, and they're going to hook you up with a free water with lemon every time. They're going to take care of you over there. We got a date. Save the date, March 25th. Speed networking event, Tampa Bay's best speed networking event on Wednesday, March 25th, 6:30 to 8:30. It's going to be a great time. Tickets available on eventbrite.com. $15 gets you in the door, an appetizer and a drink for $15, and also some access to the radio show partners, expert contributors that we have. Come out and meet a lot of our expert contributors and partners of the Consumer Quarterback Show, Wednesday, March 25th, 6:30 to 8:30. Save the date. Be there. And we would love to see you. All right, we got a real estate market update here as your local real estate economist of choice for Pinellas County. We're going to talk about Pinellas County for the last data points that we have ending December 2019. Residential listings in Pinellas County, 4,709 properties available for sale at the end of the year. And out of those 4,709 listed, 1,935 sold. 1,935 sold equals a 41.1% absorption rate. And if you divide that by 100, that gives you a 2.43 months of supply, which again equals a strong seller's market. And it's a great time for the move-up buyer right now. If you're selling a property in that $150,000 price range and you're moving to a $350,000, $450,000, $550,000 price range home, what you're doing is you're moving up into a place where there's less competition. So you're able to make a better offer, better sales price to list price ratio, and you're going to help you win. So there's your real estate market update, Consumer Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP team, Keller Williams Realty, 861 Mandalay Avenue on Clearwater Beach, beachfront property or beach property, 200 steps from the beach, rather, and that's 2-bedroom, 2-bath property, 861 Mandalay Avenue on Clearwater Beach. Gorgeous property, great opportunity to own a beautiful beach home, party home here with a cool area. You got outdoor showers, patio area in the middle. Great opportunity to own that real estate here in Tampa Bay. Also, 8325 West Hillsborough Avenue. This is a office location. You've got a great office location, town and country, close to Hillsborough, gated all the way around, electronics throughout as well. Beautiful property here, 8325 West Hillsborough Avenue in Tampa. And it's a great opportunity to own real estate right here in Tampa Bay.
Somewhere sunny and 75.
All right, we got Anthony Ornella in the house, personal CFO, JarredBunch Consulting, Captain Matt Bruce as well here coming up as well. So let's go through. You've got financial models that you wanted to talk about.
Yeah. So we harp on financial planning being broken. So what's the alternative? But real quick, speed networking. Let's just go back to that event for a second. I will be there. Really, really excited. Speed networking is one of those things. It is high octane. But think about the amount of value you can inject into other people's lives at such a high rate.
Yes.
I mean, that is, talk about the velocity of money, velocity of value that you can provide.
Yeah.
I'm big on the human element and big on you being an asset. So being able to share yourself with that many people so quickly, that's some awesome stuff.
Absolutely,
so
man.
Be there. Can't recommend it enough.
That's right. March 25th.
March 25th. Let's do it. So back to your topic. So financial models. So what do they address? What's the difference? Well, it's more fluid. It's ever changing. It's always updating itself. Financial planning is based on money here. Take that money, put it in an investment, and that has been the way a lot of people have done their business for a very long time, where financial models are built off the entire package. Is there adequate protection? What do the assets look like versus the liability? What does the net worth look like? And what's your cash flow look like? A lot of people do not take a look at what cash flow is coming in to backfill to help improve that overall net worth. Because at the end of the day, when you retire from your job, but you become an investor. And it doesn't matter what asset you're in, that's your new job.
Then you got a drawdown rate. You got to figure out what's my drawdown rate, right?
Exactly. Do you have enough cash flow coming in where you never have to touch, where you never have to draw down? So
let's talk about these four. The financial model assesses 4 key challenges that stand between you and reaching your financial potential. So number 1, he says you're busy.
You're busy. Yeah. Everybody out there who is successful is busy. That is, successful people stay busy, and the model addresses that. It is a way for you to get a snapshot of what you look like today, not just some grandiose 12-month plan. And so you have a real-time updating financial model that shows you where you are today, not where you're trying to go, not where you were, although you can see those things too, but where you are current state right now. And that helps you as you're busy and as things are going up or things are going down, you can get a real-time take of what you look like.
I like it. We're talking with Anthony Ornella, personal CFO, JarredBunch Consulting here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. He's a wealth strategist here on the show. Number 2, needs-based planning.
So that has been a focus for a lot of the traditional financial planning is needs-based. But what we found is that breeds a scarcity mindset. When you're just focusing on what you need in retirement or when you stop having active income and you don't focus on what you want, it's kind of like that old adage, you want to set your goals real high because chances are you're going to reach your goals.
Yeah.
So if your financial goals are low to the baseline of what you need, you're probably going to reach those goals. And what happens if you don't? Then you're missing out. So we feel that needs-based planning, it breeds scarcity, breeds fear, it brings stress. And JarredBunch's, our mission is to bring 1 million people to financially stress-free lives.
Yeah.
And scarcity mindset is going to breed stress, especially when it comes around money.
Yeah, I like that. There's no such thing as a bad goal or I set the bar too high. It's just the deadline. The deadline, because each goal you have should have a deadline with it.
Absolutely.
And if you don't reach it, okay, let's push the deadline out 6 months. That's it. Right?
Yeah.
Number 3,
dream big, growth minded.
Number 3 on the list, cost of living factors.
It's going up. And I think anyone can kind of understand that. It is going to go up and it's going to continue to go up. For a very long time. So it doesn't matter if you're in your 20s now, it doesn't matter if you're in your 60s or 70s now, tomorrow's probably going to be more expensive than yesterday was.
Yep.
And so with that wants, that want-based planning and with a financial model, you can address the cost of living factors and you can accommodate for them because you're not planning out 12 months. You're looking at today, you're looking at the next day, you're looking at the next day, and you can really, really tactically and strategically plan out your financial life, and that will address the ever-rising cost of being on this planet Earth.
That's right. Inflation. Financial disorganization, number 4.
It sounds so silly, and most people are like, what, people don't do this? Financial junk drawers do exist, right? And what happens, you've got your insurance agent, and then you've got your property and casualty agent, you have your life insurance agent, you have your financial advisor, you've got your real estate agent, you've got your mortgage lender, you've got your bank. Holy cow. The typical American is going to have about 35 different professionals or advisors in the financial space in their lifetime. 35 at once doing one thing. Who has got your back at that point in time? Who is helping organize all that in a very concise model so you can take a glance at it during your busy schedule? You can log in, you can take a peek, you can know exactly who you need to make the next call to.
Yeah,
and that's what happens when you have a financial model. It helps you organize yourself.
And when you don't have that in place, if let's say, for example, you make a change to your estate plan, but you forgot to tell your tax man, or you make a change to, so those are all interconnected, and it's a comprehensive approach.
Yeah, and talk about making the life for your professionals easier. I mean, I know you pay them to do their good work, but I bet you your CPA, I bet you your attorney is going to do even better work for you when you come prepared with all your ducks in a row, all of your stuff organized, and you show them, hey, listen, I know tax season's in 2 months, But listen, here's what I've got. I want to give you access to this. I want you to take a look at it for me. And they're going to sing your praises. You're going to be their number one client, and they're going to do great work for you because you are prepared. You are invested in yourself as much as they are invested in doing good work for you too. So it's streamlined. And again, this financial models, yes, the money is involved. Making money, protecting your money is involved. But at the end of the day, reducing stress is so very important. That is the reason that I have a job. That is what I'm here to do for you, is to lessen the stress that finances bring. And that is exactly what financial models do. It's not some long, drawn-out process. It is real time, real action, real steps to be taken, or maybe not. Sometimes you just get to sit back and chill.
Nice. Yeah, I like that. And, you hear so many times stress is the number one killer. It really, especially when you look at divorce rate, right? Yeah. Stress between husband and wife. It's about money. They, someone got laid off, they get divorced. There's a lot of scenarios where that plays out. So, and I've heard, my number one mentor, Tony Robbins, I talk about quite a bit on the show. It's where you got to pay yourself first, right? Oh. So if you take that first 10% of your paycheck, pay yourself first, put it in a financial freedom account, and then you're going to have systems in place with Anthony Ornella. That's your step to financial future.
Absolutely. 10% of all you earn should be yours to keep forever. George S. Clayson from The Richest Man in Babylon. Some of the wisest words ever said.
I like that. Yeah. And then there's also stories of the postal worker, not getting paid in an absorbent amount. He's not getting paid tons of money. But there was I forgot the gentleman's name, but he did that. He took the 10% he paid over the years. When he retired, he was a millionaire. When he retired. So he had $1 million due to compounding of that money over time.
Absolutely.
I love it. All right. Hey, good stuff. Anthony Ornella, personal CFO. Reach out to Anthony Ornella. You can find him online as well. AnthonyOrnella.com, still the site?
You can find me on LinkedIn would probably be the best way to do it. Okay. But I encourage people to take a look at JarredBunch.com. A lot of great resources for the family, for business owners. I highly encourage. There's a lot of offerings that we can do there. So JarredBunch.com. Take a peek.
Nice. All right. Captain Matt Bruce coming up as well after this short break. Also, our feel-good story of the day. A woman with only 12 followers shares final chemo tweet, becomes Twitter star overnight. Find out how many followers she picked up over this tweet. Stay with us right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Check out ConsumerQB.com.
Hey, this is Jarek Robbins. You are listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show with Brandon Rhymes. Please do what it takes to learn all that you have to live the life you want to live it fully, and find a way to give it by paying it forward to others.
Get in touch with Brandon online at ConsumerQB.com.
All right, this week we're going to talk about something exciting as usual.
We always have something exciting.
Yes, we do.
At least it's exciting to us.
But this is a question that comes up.
TV, hey, it is Friday night. We're not here. Yes, we pre-recorded once again because WeBeam TV is working over in Tampa with D'Angelo Star.
The 62 Who Knew. I almost said Professional Mortgage Alliance, Joe's Bar and Grill. But actually, it's our 39th week. 62 Who Knew.
We're at the wonderful steampunk event at the Verizon Event Center here in 2019. I think it's still August, right? Yeah. Woo! Can't remember. Ask Anthony about
Yes. To be able to help businesses to do that part of it. But it's just been a couple of years.
Well, and I've taken the business card files from our business cards and made
entrepreneurs and professionals of Tampa Bay. Welcome to your hour for getting the information, the tools, and the connections
Ian
for
Beckles on Radio Influence.
Or you say left-hand white, and then they catch the left-hand white. What it does, it helps you quick with hand-eye coordination. Yeah.
Well, that's kind
as your super connector. We want to introduce you to our 50-plus show partners. We got over 80 categories of expert contributor advice here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and we want to
That's where we disagree, but that's okay.
I said nonviolent.
That's okay.
Because, we're one of the only states that don't give them back the right. Got Jamie Limbaugh. He is from the Next Step Image. I love that name because you were telling me earlier.
For the type of republic we actually are is actually very correct. Yet politicians and regular people use these words interchangeably, even though technically they are very different.
If you're an overdoer, overachiever, people pleaser, we tend to neglect ourselves. And even as sisters connected here, with Women Unscripted, I know.
You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team, Keller Williams Realty. Big shout out to Infinity Medical Institute. Check them out online at infinitymedicalinstitute.com. And over 10 years in business, and they offer low T therapy, weight loss plans, cosmetic services such as Botox, improved sexual wellness, and increased energy. And they've got stem cells coming as well. Infinity Medical Institute. Check them out online. Successfully treated over 40,000 patients, and they are the leading experts in bio-natural hormone replacement therapy. Pellet hormone therapy as well is another option as well. And they can help you with weight loss as well. Check them out online. Give them a call. Let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. Infinity Medical Institute, 813-871-2929, 871-2929, right here in Tampa Bay. Longtime friends of the Consumer Quarterback Show. And we want to tell you something good every single day and a positivity injection for you here on the Consumer Quarterback Show.
Tell me something good.
A mother of two from the UK recently posted a video from her final chemo session to Twitter and said, "I don't tweet often. I only have 12 followers, but today was my final chemo session and I want to tell everyone." Well, 12 people at least she has in parentheses there. She now has over 32,000 followers on Twitter, and she's in the line of was very nice of supporting tweets, people replying. "My wife finished chemo a year ago. Her treatment ended in May. She's now back at the gym twice a week. Takes a while, but she's getting back into how she was before her diagnosis." And yeah, my fiance went through so these great tweets coming in, people supporting her online. So pretty cool story how she went from 12 to over 32,000 followers. Again, powerful internet, social media, right?
Yeah.
Can really help you and do some good stuff there. So we got Anthony Ornella in the house, personal CFO. He's on LinkedIn as well, Anthony Ornella. And Captain Matt Bruce as well, Vietnam veteran and first responder at the World Trade Center. And, of course, radio show host here with Salem Media Group, worldwide or state. You're throughout the nation. How many markets are you in now?
205, but I'm going to be on 50 more in about another 2 months. I've got another network coming in with 50 stations, so it'll put us up over 255.
Nice.
But
That's
right now
awesome.
it's 205.
So a couple million people a night hear you. What can people expect to hear from you on a daily basis?
I'm all about America. Believe it or not, I've got a great following up in the, do you know what a roughneck is?
Roughneck, I've heard of that.
Yeah, they work on the oil rigs.
Okay.
All of a sudden, I get a call in the middle of the night from somebody up in Montana. "Hey, Captain, it's Billy up here. We're listening to you. Yeah, some of us live down there. We're up here. We're on the rigs." And he started to tell me we're in Wyoming, we're in Colorado, we're in Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota. So not to be outdone, I get a call from Saudi Arabia.
Nice.
It's from some guys that live over here that work for Aramco. So one thing leads to another. We are worldwide, of course, with the satellite and with the internet.
Yeah.
So people can hear you anytime, anywhere. And we're also on in Germany now. In Germany, there's a lot of military people that are over there.
Yeah.
And they have one English-speaking radio station. It's called Radio Ways.
Wow.
My show is number one at night over there.
Nice.
And it's number one in a number of the markets here.
2 a.m. to 6 a.m. Captain's
Eastern
America.
time.
The third watch.
But you can get it on the internet so that you don't have to worry about staying up all night. Just
Yeah.
go to the website, the captainsamerica3rdwatch.com, and click on the podcast link.
Very cool. So America first. That's your message.
That's it. It's all about America. I'm an American first.
Yep.
Everything else comes after that. And anything I can do for anybody that serves this great country of ours is what we're all about.
Yeah, I like that, man. Putting America first, that's important. And we've seen that, throughout politics now. The latest theme is putting America first, bringing jobs back to America. What are you seeing in terms of jobs from your listeners and people, in the know?
There are a lot of jobs coming back from Central and South America. Plants that went down there, the dungaree makers, the shirt makers that went down there, they're coming back up into the United States. Car makers, there's 2 big manufacturing plants that have come back from Mexico and Central America. They're building cars again in the Detroit area. Also, upstate New York, they opened up a Chevrolet plant again up in Messina, New York, which hadn't been open in 10 years. Now they're opening it back up again.
Very cool. On a local scene here, I know you do lunches as well over at Mission Barbecue. People want to see you. They can go over and catch up with you over there.
Every Tuesday, and I'm also once a month down at Mixon Fruit Farms. I'll be down there this Thursday.
Nice.
From noon to 1.
Lunch with the captain.
That's right. Have lunch with the captain.
That's right. Awesome. Getting involved with a lot of events too. We're doing more and more teaming up on some of the events and things of that nature. We like to do the events because we can get out in the community and meet our fans, meet friends of the program, people that are supporting Salem Media Group, your show, supporting our show, and of course, the other great shows right here, daily programming. Dennis Prager, you got Hugh Hewitt,
Mike Gallagher. Mike Gallagher Studios right around the corner from behind where I broadcast down the hallway here.
That's right. Bill Bunkley. So got a great lineup here with 860 AM 860 The Answer, 93.7 on the FM side. Great team of people around you here at Salem Media Group, and it's been a pleasure as well. My past couple of years here now with the station, so we really enjoy it being on the show. So the real estate side too, what we're seeing is still lack of inventory, low inventory right now. People are looking to buy, but they're getting challenges because they're not. The key on the buy side is finding what's the best buy in the zip code. So if you say, hey, I want to be in this zip code, it's close to work, close to the beach, whatever you want to be, you got to get with a realtor that knows that zip code. Find out what the pros and cons are to each subdivision, and then find out, what's the best buy list. As realtors, we that's one of the tasks that we do is we come up with the best buy list. If someone says, hey, I want a 3-bedroom, 2-bath in this area, that's what we want to do. So being that consumer advocate on the buy side, and of course on the list side, helping people maximize the exposure is one of the key things that we do here with the show. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. We have a good time doing it, and calling into your show, getting a lot of response from people listening to your show as well on the real estate
Wednesday mornings at 5:30 a.m.
That's right. Yes, sir. All right, time for the lightning round here. Let's jump into our lightning round. We're going to get top tips.
Lightning round.
I am so good at lightning rounds.
I majored in lightning.
All right, here we go. Top tips, nuggets of advice, parting words of wisdom. Anthony Ornella, personal CFO.
Listen, I thought I was going one direction. I'm going to flip the script a little bit, and I'm going to talk about that want-based planning. I really want people to truly focus on what you want. People are like, oh, well, I don't need this or I don't need that. I just want to be able to buy the hummus. That was my wife's line for the longest time. I just want to be able to buy the hummus. Well, honey, you can buy the hummus and we can live in a very, very small house. Is that what you want? Well, no. All right. Do you want to be able to drive your kids to school? Do you want them to be able to drive their own selves to school in a safe car? I mean, those are wants. Those aren't needs. They can take the bus. They can ride their bikes. But what do you want? So when you're mapping out your financial life and your financial future, truly look at what you want it to look like. What is ideal? And set your goals high. Set them high and go get them.
That's right. Set your goals high and go get them. Captain Matt Bruce, give us some top tips, nuggets of advice, words of wisdom.
Anytime you see a police officer, a fireman, someone in uniform, military, or maybe a veteran walking around with one of his veteran's caps, walk up to him and just say one word, thank you.
Yes.
Watch the smile on their face.
Yeah.
And mean it. Thank you. Because these people every day lay their lives out on the line so that we can do what we're doing right here.
That's right. Absolutely. Think of police officer, buy lunch or, breakfast, coffee, offer to pick up their check. There's lots of things you can do to show that respect for them. And what I want to talk about too is the way that America has really separated itself. Talking about America first, in 1980, there were 1 million millionaires in 1980. That number grew to 10 million millionaires in 2015, and most of whom started with nothing and earned it all within a lifetime. Now, there's also 1,865 billionaires in the United States, according to 2015 data. that came out. So as within, so without. So the law of correspondence is something that you really want to think about. So the way that you think about yourself is the way the world's going to see you. So as within, so without. So to be wealthy on the outside, you must think wealthy on the inside and develop those habits. So your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. In other words, so you want to make sure that you are focusing on things that matter, thinking about that Pareto principle, the 80-20 rule. What are those key 20% of the tasks that you do on a daily basis that's going to contribute to your 80% of your success? And if you write down 10 things, there's going to be 2 things on that list that are going to be worth more than all of the others combined. So focusing on what you can do, what you can control, and then forgetting about the other stuff that's outside of your control. Dr. Stephen Covey talked about a sphere of concern and a sphere of influence. What can you actually influence? So if you're influencing things like your family, your friends, people in your network, yeah, that makes sense. And then there's some things that happen, of course, in Washington, D.C. or things and those types of things where we can't really control those hands-on as much as we want to. Yeah, it's good to be involved, but bring it back and focus on the things that you can actually control that are going to influence your behaviors, influence your thoughts, influence your actions, and that's going to help you be more successful when it comes to your business and your lifestyle. So those are the key topics, I would say. And I want to give a big shout out. Thanks to Anthony Ornella. Great information on the show today. Thanks for talking about how folks can invest and save and plan for retirement. Captain Matt Bruce, always a pleasure. Thank you very much, sir. Vietnam veteran, first responder, World Trade Center as well. And check out his show, The Captain's America Third Watch, right here on AM 860 The Answer. Also, please go out there, consider committing a random act of kindness, something as simple as packing up some food or clothing, hand it to that person that you see in need. Be a force for good in the community. Lots of ways that you can be a force for good. Swing a hammer for Habitat for Humanity. Donate some blood. Donate some time. We'll see you next time right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show.